So in this video I'm going to talk about multiplying and dividing scientific notation. So the first thing that we got to remember is that when we're multiplying or dividing exponents, we're going to add or subtract them. So if we're multiplying exponents, let's say we have a squared times a to the fifth, then we're going to add the exponents and keep the base the same. So a squared times a to the fifth is going to be a to the seventh, because that's 2 plus 5. Okay, and then if we're dividing a squared by a to the fifth, then we're going to subtract the exponents. So 2 minus 5 is negative 3, so we get a to the negative 3. And then when you have a negative exponent in the numerator, that's the same as a positive exponent in the denominator, and vice versa. So if you have a to the negative third, that's the same as 1 over a to the positive 3. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's start on our example. So we have these two different sets over here. So we have 4.41 times 10 to the negative 1, and that's divided by 7 times 10 to the negative 4th. So what I like to do is I like to get the coefficients by themselves, and I like to get the base and exponents by themselves. So let's pull out our calculator, and we have 4.41 divided by 7, and that equals 0.63. Alright, and then we have 10 to the negative 1 over 10 to the 4th. So since we're dividing these, we're going to have to subtract the exponents. So 10 to the negative 1 and divided by 10 to the negative 4th, so we're going to get negative 1 minus negative 4, because we're subtracting these exponents of negative 1 minus negative 4. And that equals 10. So negative 1 minus negative 4 is negative 1 plus 4, so that's 10 to the third. Alright, and then we got to clean this up a little bit. This is not in scientific notation yet, so we have to have one significant figure, and then the decimal place, and then other significant figures. Alright, so it's going to be 6.3 times 10, and then the decimal place moved one more, so it's going to change by 1. And when you're adding or subtracting 1, it gets tricky when you're, which way? Do I add a place over here, so do I have 10 to the 4th, or do I have 10 to the 2nd? And that's what gets a little tricky in these problems. So one way you can think of it is, let's dissect this problem right here. So 0.63 times 10 to the third. So if we move this decimal place 3 places over, we're going to be left with 630. So if we put that in scientific notation, that's going to be 6.3 times 10, and then this decimal place is going to move over twice. Alright, so I guess we discovered that this is going to be 10 squared, and that's going to give us the same answer. Okay, so let's put that in here. And let's go to the next one. Okay, so let's start with multiplying the coefficients together. So we'll put these two together, and then we'll put these two together. Alright, so let's pull out our calculator again. And we have 1.2 times 3. So we have 3.6. Alright, and then we have 10 squared times 10 to the 0. So if we're adding these two, then 2 plus 0 is 2. Alright, so we got a similar one over here. So we're going to put the coefficients, multiply those together, and then we're going to multiply that by the product of the base and exponents. Okay, so we have 9.3 times 7. So that's 65.1. And that's going to be multiplied by 10. Okay, so we have negative 2 and 5. So negative 2 plus 5 is 3. Alright, and this is similar to a few problems ago. So we're going to have 6.51. So this decimal place is going to have to move an additional place over. So if this is what we got here for our product, then if this place moves 3 places over, then that's going to be 651, and then it's going to be 2 zeros after that. Okay. And so if we're going to rearrange this, then you have 6.5, and then this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 over. Alright, let's do one more. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get the coefficients together, and then we're going to get, no, I can't see now, and then we're going to get the base and exponents together. Okay, so we have 3.78 divided by 7, and that leaves us 0.54. And then we have 10 to the negative 5th over 10 to the negative 2. So we're going to subtract the exponents. So negative 5 minus negative 2 is the same as negative 5 plus 2. And negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. Okay, so we're going to convert this back into real scientific notation. Alright, and so if this decimal place has moved over 3 times, so 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's what this answer equals. So it's saying that this has moved over 3 additional places. Alright, so if we're gonna make it 5.4, then it's gonna essentially have to move over 1 more place. So it's going to be negative 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. .4 times 10 to the negative 4. Alright, one more problem. Okay. So we're gonna put these two together, and it looks like they gave us something easy this time. So 4 divided by 1 is 4. And then, alright, so we have 10 to the negative 2 over 10 to the negative 2. So we're going to subtract these. So negative 2 minus negative 2 is negative 2 plus 2, which is 0. Alright, so if you don't know this yet, then if you have a 0 in the exponent, that's the same as 1. So whatever number you have, if you have any number and you have an exponent of 0, then that value is 1. And the same thing, if you have a and then you have 1, then that number is just a. Alright, so 4 times 1 is 4. And it looks like we're going to have to still put a number here, so it's going to be 0. Okay, so hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, just let me know.